Hey, what's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. This is my Week 5 NFL DFS Picks video. Congratulations to IDFS Daily for winning last week's contest. He already contacted me and he wants a Bo Jackson jersey. I'm a Niner fan, but that Bo Jackson jersey still looks sexy. Congrats, man. This week, we're having another contest. It's going to be the biggest one. So last week I had 55 players and that filled up in 12 hours right after the video came out. So this week we're having a 110 player contest, pretty much the same deal. It's gonna be the same link, so just follow the link below. If you don't have an account, just sign up. Make sure you use promo code FANTASYCOUCH. I'll be giving out more details about the contest and the promotion for using the promo code at the end of the video. But hurry up and join the tournament right now before the spots fill out. Here's what's gonna happen, guys. First place, NFL jersey of your choice from NFL Shop, okay? Same as last week. And this week, we're gonna be doing something real special. For every single person that signs up and plays in my Week 5 tournament and they've never played FanDuel before. So if you've never deposited money in a FanDuel account before, I will give you a Fantasy Couch promo pack. Every one of you, no matter if you win, lose, as long as you sign up and play, all you have to do is email me or let me know what your username is on FanDuel, and you'll get a Fantasy Couch promo pack. Quick details on the contest: $2 to enter, 110 players, top 25 win a cash prize, and on top of that, first place gets an NFL jersey, and if it's your first time playing, and on FanDuel, you get a Fantasy Couch promo pack. Good luck to everyone on FanDuel. I'm entering in the tournament and I plan to win. There's a few other Couch members entering in there. I got in 5th place last week, so it was really close. I almost won, but not quite there. Wish you guys good luck. Let's go to my daily fantasy football picks for Week 5. This week is definitely smelling like a GPP week for me. I definitely feel like I'm going to be entering a lot of GPPs. Last week, actually, I entered a ton of contests, but probably the most cash games I've entered last week. Luckily, I had Julio Jones in most of my lineups, so that worked out well. This week, I'm leaning more towards GPPs, but I have a lot of great cash game picks for you guys, for sure. As you guys know, we like to start off with the kicker and defense, usually select some cheaper options. Then later on, if we have some extra salary cap room, we can spend up on, let's say, a defense. This week, my top 3, just in terms of fantasy points, not considering salary. Number 1, Stephen Gostkowski. Number 2, Brandon McManus. And number 3, Adam Vinatieri. Now, Stephen Gostkowski is very expensive. He's my number 1 ranked kicker. That's why I think it's a no-brainer pretty much for our kicker. At least in the beginning, we're going to go with minimum priced Mason Crosby. Stick him in there. You know, if we have a ton of salary cap room left over at the end, we may upgrade. Not a lot of great kickers at 4,600 either, but at 4,700, we do have some great options, just 200 more than the minimum price. For defenses, I like the Niners as a sleeper defense with Carson Palmer out, but that's a Thursday night game. Don't concentrate too much on Thursday night football. Titans is a cool, more like a punt at 4,200, nearly minimum price. You can basically consider that minimum price for a defense and what could be a low-scoring, horrible, nasty game with some turnovers. Ravens D at 4,400 is good, but this week we're going to do something different, okay? Vikings D has so much value, and if you can even put a floor and ceiling on defenses, which is tough to project defenses at all, I think the Vikings has the highest floor we've ever seen in recent DFS history. Like I said, if we can even put a floor on them, I'm going to stick in the Vikings D at only 4,800 in this spot. Now, it's a little expensive. So if we really need salary cap, let's say we can't fit a great wide receiver in there or a running back, something, we can always downgrade to, let's say, the Ravens D, somewhat comfortable with them at 4,400. Or, even if we have to, the Titans D. Enough talk about the 2 positions that we can hardly project each week. Hard to predict. Let's go up to the QBs, the position that really matters. For cash games, I love Aaron Rodgers. For cash games, I also love Eli Manning. Derek Carr and Rivers aren't that bad in cash games, but Hoyer is worth a lot of consideration at basically minimum price. Now, it's basically 6,000 is minimum price really for quarterbacks that are actually starting. So 6,000, you're gonna, like last week I talked about Hoyer. He did cover value. I believe he was like a top 10 QB last week. So for 6,000, you're gonna really cover value there. Let's compare him to Aaron Rodgers, okay? About 3,000 more. So, if Hoyer puts up, it's just an example here. If Hoyer puts up 10 fantasy points, let's say 20 fantasy points, okay? If Hoyer puts up 20 fantasy points and Rodgers puts up 30, Hoyer would actually be better value if you need that extra salary cap to spend over, because Rodgers is 50% more than Hoyer. So that's a lot, that is quite a bit of money to spend on Rodgers. But you know me, I do like to spend up on QBs, usually like to spend up on running backs too in cash games. For running backs, I see great value here with Melvin Gordon and DeAndre Washington, Oakland running back. That's really it for cash games. I just see so much value there. I just love the floor with those two guys. I really think they're great value. You usually see me talking about the big time RBs for cash games, but not this week. I mean, there's just so much value in Gordon and DeAndre Washington, expecting Latavius Murray to be out, of course. We'll see Friday. We'll have a better idea Friday, but he's doubtful to play. I just like those two guys for cash games, and that's it with the running backs. For wide receivers, my top 3 GPP picks for wide receivers are Julio Jones going against a tough Denver Broncos defense, Randall Cobb, who's been awful, that I don't think no one's going to pick those two guys, and Devontae Parker, a guy who always has a high ceiling, I believe, and lots of risk. So those are my 3 GPP high risk, more contrarian sided picks right there. For cash games, I love Antonio Brown and Jordy Nelson for cash games, okay? And Odell Beckham, he's, not the safest guy, but because Antonio Brown, it's so hard to fit this guy in your lineup. Like, to be able to fit Antonio Brown in a cash lineup, you're going to probably have to go with a cheap QB like Hoyer. It's just going to be so hard. $9,600, that's so freaking expensive. It's so much more than anybody else. He's the highest priced player on FanDuel, period. So, but man, he's really worth it if you can somehow afford that. Now, that's why I have Odell Beckham there as like an alternate option. He's not the best and the safest cash play game, but I do love him against Green Bay. Keep the emotions aside. We don't want to make projections just because a guy is crying one week and he's, fighting a kicking net. That's not how we make projections here. We take that into consideration, but I'm not going to put a lot of weight. Oh, this guy cried. Nah, I'm not going to pick him. That's not what we do. You have to always consider things, but we have to put big factors in what we think. Do we think it's going to be a shootout? Yes. Do we think that Eli Manning is going to throw the ball a lot? Yes. Do we think ODB is going to get targets? I would say yes. He hasn't scored touchdowns. He may be able to this game. I see him having a big game, but, there is risk with ODB, no doubt. Some better value plays, as in more cheaper guys. We have Hilton, Jarvis Landry, and Kelvin Benjamin. There is probably no better value and no better wide receiver with a high floor than Jarvis Landry, like I said last week. And even when that team's sucking, Jarvis is doing great. 7 receptions minimum every single game this year so far. So he's had 4 weeks in a row with 7 receptions or more. That's a pretty good stat. Gets tons of targets. 7,500 Jarvis Landry. Ooh, I love that for cash games, guys. Some more wide receivers. Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree. Those two guys are both in a game that should be a high-scoring game. Kingsley Anenwa and Eddie Royal. But keep tabs on Eddie Royal's injury, though, guys. Make sure to do that. For tight ends, you could spend up, but you know me, I don't spend up a lot. Usually in cash games, there's some great value there. In a cash game, the one that's going to be obvious that you kind of have to go with is Zach Ertz, 5,600, great value. There's some more options. Dennis Pitta, 5,500, Cameron Brate. In that Monday Night Football game, we all love Zach Miller, but he is hurt, so keep tabs on that. Hunter Henry's okay. Hunter Henry is okay at 5,400 if Gates is out. Richard Rodgers, not a bad pick at 5,000 with Jared Cook being out, guys. Not a high floor, but pretty good value there. An excellent punt, super excellent punt, is Jesse James at 4,500. He's a little bit TD or bust though. And those are all my picks for week 5. Just to go over the tournament, I want to give you guys some more details. If you guys sign up, if it's your first time, you will be getting a Fantasy Couch promo pack. No doubt about it. To contact me, just go to fantasycouch.com/contact. You fill out that form. It'll send me an email. You just have to send me your name and address. Make sure it's the name on your FanDuel account. Same thing if you win the first place prize. That's the best way to contact me. It's only $2 to enter. 110 players this week. You can enter twice. Don't tell everybody though. So maximum of 2 entries this week. So all you got to do, again, just follow the link below. It's bit.ly/couch416. Same URL as before. Just go there, sign up. If you haven't signed up yet, use promo code FANTASYCouch if you don't have a FanDuel account. And first place gets an NFL jersey of your choice, up to $100 on NFLshop.com, the official NFL shop. Not no pirated stuff, not no fake stuff. Make sure you guys like the video. If there was any picks that I left out that you think are worth mentioning in this YouTube community, make sure you leave a comment below with your favorite picks. If you have any questions, comment. I love to hear what you guys think. As you know, I read every single comment. Make sure you guys subscribe on the YouTube channel. I wish you guys all good luck this week on FanDuel, in season-long traditional leagues, except in my contest, because I plan to win. Man, last week was so close. I was in first place for quite a while until like the second half of the Sunday night game. I'll see you guys on the next video.